Hi, and welcome to the art studio. My name is Allison, and we are going to be making some coffee filter flowers today. So here's what you're going to need. We've got just some plain white coffee filters. You can use as many as you would like, and you're going to need some watercolor paint, or you can use food coloring and water to do this as well. So it's up to you. I'm going to be using the watercolor technique today to show you how to do this. So the first thing you want to do is get your coffee filters and you want to separate them out, okay? You can paint these in a variety of ways, but I will say that the method I'm going to show you makes the watercolor show up best when you're brushing it on. If you want to get a solid color all over without having to brush on color everywhere, the best method would be to get a bowl and some water and food coloring. You can use either the liquid drops or the gel kind and just mix it in and dip them, let them dry, and then they will be ready to go. So the method that we are going to use today gives it kind of a whimsical look. So we're going to be doing circles, okay? And you can do a variety of colors and combinations. We've got several already. And so it's up to you what you do as far as that goes. Here's what we're going to start with. I've got my dry coffee filter, and I'm just going to pick a color. So I really like blues and greens, but I also like pinks and purples, and I've already got several of both. So let's go with another pink and purple. So I'm just going to get some pink paint on my brush, and I'm using a Crayola brush. It comes in a 5-pack of assorted sizes and kinds of brushes, and all I'm going to do is just start by putting on some circles on here, okay? Now, the more paint that I have and the less water that I have, the better my color is going to show up. But it also doesn't run if you don't have the water on here. So it just depends on what look you would like for it to have. All right, so here we go. We're gonna finish up that circle. And then I'm gonna come in with like a brighter pink that's almost like a neon pink, and go around in between those circles as well. So I'm gonna come back in here. So it's not going to show up super bright on this just because it's absorbing all of the water. But as you can see, when I don't use quite as much water, I get a better view of my color. But it really doesn't matter to me that these are, you know, super bright or not. So we're just going to go with it as it is. All right, so I'm going to finish up these circles, and then I'm going to go ahead and dry this with a hair dryer just so that I can move on to the next step. You can set these aside on a piece of a paper towel, or you could put these, I have heard of hanging them like over a shower curtain rod and letting them dry overnight, so they would be ready to go the next day. I'm going to speed this up by drying it with a hair dryer. It only takes a few seconds. Okay, so we're all dry now, and I am going to just combine what I have already, and we're going to go ahead and get these ready to cut. So that doesn't take very long if you need to go ahead and dry it with the hair dryer. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these and I'm going to fold them in half, okay? And then I'm going to fold them again in half and create a quarter of my coffee filter. And right now I just have round circles, so I want to create the look of petals. And so I'm going to just kind of draw or cut out just kind of a wavy line. And let's see. Actually, we can kind of go in like this and create like a heart shape. And it doesn't have to be real big. If you wanted to make this area bigger, make the dip bigger, you can do that. It will give it more definition if you do that. And so we'll try that and see what we get. All right, so kind of have a heart shape now. So when I open these back up, I'm gonna have petals on here. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just kind of twist these around so that they're not all lined up. And so that way I can create the more natural look of a flower. All right, so I'm gonna just kind of lay these on top of each other because they're not really wanting to twist. And you just wanna make sure that they're not all lined up in the same direction. They don't have to be exact. So we're going to do something at the end to make it where you can see them more. Okay, so now I have my flower kind of laid out like I want it. And what I'm going to do, and you would need adult supervision if you are kids working on this, I'm going to just take my scissors and I'm going to find just about where the center is. And I'm just going to poke a hole right in the center. It may take a little bit to do that, so you might want an adult to help you with that. All right, so now I've got a hole in the center here. It goes all the way through. It may have to be a little bit bigger, but I don't want it too big because I don't want my pipe cleaner to fall through, okay? Now, I'm gonna use a bead. You could use a button. You could use just the pipe cleaner. It does not have to have any of these things. I just have buttons on hand, so I'm gonna use a button to put this on. And you could go, I've got brown and I've got yellow. I want mine to be bright, so I'm gonna go with a yellow center in my flower. And you could even go with multiple buttons or multiple beads if you wanted to give it a bigger center. I'm just gonna use the one right now. And what I wanna do, I've got a pipe cleaner, a nice sparkly one, and I'm just gonna run it through and I'm gonna put it about to the center of my pipe cleaner. My puppy is whining and wants in. So I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna run both of these pieces through these holes, okay? So it's gonna take a little bit of finagling to get it in there. Let's see, let me make my hole a little bit bigger. There we go. That should do it. All right, and so I'm gonna run both of these through here. And if you wanted to, you could cut your pipe cleaner down just to make it where you don't have so much at the back side of it. So we're gonna put that there. And then I'm gonna take this on the back because I'm gonna use this kind of as a stem. If you wanted to stick this or hang it somewhere, you could do that. So I'm just twisting the back side of this just to secure it. All right, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take each of these and we're gonna kind of scrunch them up. And you can do as many coffee filters as you want. You don't have to do just this amount. But you're just gonna take each of your leaves and scrunch them in like that. Your center is gonna be tighter than the outside. And so you can come back and fluff it up if you need to, but this will kind of help hold it in its shape. So the more coffee filters you have, the fluffier your flower will be, obviously. And then when I'm done, I'm gonna come back and just kind of fluff up my petals a good bit where I can see that center of my flower. And there you have it. You have a coffee filter flower. Now you can hang these, you can put them together and make like a bouquet. It is totally up to you. The possibilities are endless. Thank you for joining me, and I hope you have a great day. Stay creative.